Welcome to BDS Beans FFs. Disclaimer, this is a complete work of fan fiction. One was walking back home after work when she feels a strange prickling sensation at the back of her neck. She stops and looks around, but there was no one around. There's no one around, no one is following you and relax, she murmurs to herself in an attempt to calm her racing heart as she shakes her head. But the same feeling didn't go away. She bit her lower lip, holding her back tightly. It was late night. Burglars. Men roam around at this time. As she mentally prayed for their life and started walking in fast pace. Entering her house, she locks the door behind and takes out a sigh of relief. And just for confirmation, she went towards her window, but thankfully no one was around. Thank God, she murmured as she took a sigh of relief with closed eyes. Bring her back down, she walks towards the kitchen to drink water, but suddenly she hears a loud thud coming from the living room. She got startled. What was that? Her heart starts beating faster in fear as she cautiously headed towards source of noise. She carefully makes her way towards the living room, a sense of dread creeping up her spine, unsure what she might find in there. Hello, she calls out, her voice trembling slightly. To say she was scared could be an understatement. Was there really someone following, or was she going to? Now, many negative thoughts were storming in her mind. But there was no one there. She let out a sigh of relief. Maybe it was just my imagination, she thought aloud, trying to calm her racing heart. She turns around to leave only for her heart to skip a beat as a loud shriek left her mouth to see a silhouette in the corner of the living room. Her ex, Jungkook, was sitting like a king there, slightly hidden in shadows. "Miss me, baby doll," he drawled huskily, smirking like a psycho. The shiver of fear went down her spine. "What were you doing here?" she finally uttered aloud, and he chuckled. "What am I doing here?" he repeated, his tone almost mocking. "Isn't it obvious, baby doll? I came to see you." He stood up slowly, stepping out of shadows and into the light. As he walked towards her, his steps confident and almost predatory. One stared him from top to bottom, her lips slightly parted as she took a deep breath. Same sculptured face, muscled body, and aura. She gulps, but tried to maintain her posture. "Jungkook," she hissed, realizing the matter, anger bubbling in her body. "Get out of my house before I call police." He laughs, and her words as if she just said a joke. "Do you think police can do anything, princess?" He chuckled. "Oh, my sweet Bella, you didn't change a bit, did you?" "Of course not." One face paled. He starts moving towards her and she squirms under his dark gaze. His steps lethal and predatory. "Jungkook, don't come close to me." "Why don't you miss me, love?" Before she knew or run, he was already in front of her as he pulled her towards him and grazed her face. "Pretty like always, love," he muttered, snuggling in her neck. His cheek as he nibbled gently, she gasped. As she closed her eyes, her body trembling, but still she tried to push him, but in vain. "I miss you, baby," he murmured, trailing in her nape. One shuddered on her place, her breath heavy and uneven, her heart beating faster against her ribcage, like a drum. "Where did I miss you?" she finally stated weakly, as she attempts to push him away, but he attempts were nothing more than a futile struggle, as a dark, humorous chuckle escaped his lips on her words. "My little Bella is lying, isn't she?" He forced her to look in his eyes by grabbing her jaw, which she obliged. "You were to see me, love," he smirks, and she clenched her fist. "Keep dreaming, Jungkook." She was shivering. "Damn, baby, my name from your lips still feels so addictive." And closed her eyes, clearly getting annoyed, flustered, and frustrated at the same time. "What do you want?" She straight came to the point. "You know the answer. I want you," he replied, staring directly in her eyes. "We broke our engagement, Jungkook. Leave, please." "So? Here is a bro." "You broke it, baby." "I never agreed." He shrugs, Don't make me angry or get on my nerves, Jungkook. I'm not in mood to fight. She sighs. Just leave from my home. She slightly pushed him away as she walked towards the kitchen and drank a glass of water to calm her nerves. Unfortunately, he followed her behind like a lost puppy as he leaned against the kitchen doorway, watching her with an amused expression, his arms wrapped around. You became more beautiful with time. Her cheeks flushed under flexity. Despite her anger, she couldn't help but feel a flutter in her as she glared him fiercely, determined not to let him know how his words had affected her. Don't think a few compliments will change anything, she retorted, setting the glass down with a little more force than necessary. Let's go back home, he murmured politely, and she glared at him while gritting her teeth. I'm already in my home. Don't let me force you in, he murmured calmly, despite the fact he was anything but calm. One is a calm and sweet person, while Jungkook is a dangerous mafia who's insanely obsessed with his women. They're gonna wind both were in a relationship for a year, and then he proposed her, which she accepted and became his fiance and lifeline. Everything was going fine till she saw something which she was not supposed to. A year ago, Jungkook, someone who tried to. Unaware one was also there, and she had witnessed the whole scene with her very own eyes. He only got to know about her when she let out a loud shriek in horror as his eyes widened when he saw her there. It was not like she didn't knew about his profession or how dangerous person he was. She knew he's a dangerous mafia. She have heard rumors about his ruthlessness every now and especially when she was in all those gatherings with him, many jealous freaks did many attempts to make them apart. When one put a blind eye in everything till she saw him, her own self, one was beyond scared after she witnessed his decide that she ran away from there, but Jungkook followed her behind. He tried to explain and make her understand things, but she was too scared and stressed at the time to understand anything, as she hastily gathered her stuff and left from his house. He didn't stop her, knowing very well she needs space, and she will eventually return back home when she'll calm down, and he'll explain her everything. One herself knew very well how insanely he is possessive and obsessed with her. She also knew the reason of his action, but it struck deep something inside her heart. She can't take the burden on her heart and live peacefully while someone is because of her. They must have their family as well, so she decided to break their engagement. It's been a year till they part and didn't see each other. One thought he finally left her, but probably he was wrong. He never left her. From his heart, at least. Please leave, Jungkook. I'm so tired and I already have a bad headache. I don't have energy to fight with you. She murmured softly as she brushed past by him and went towards her bedroom. Don't you dare to lock it, he warned, without looking towards her, as she bit her lip but obeyed anyways. After her night routine, she lays down in bed in an attempt to fall asleep while he was sitting on couch in front of her bed, just staring at her silently. Stop staring me. She threw a pillow towards him and he chuckled silently. Why are you so bothered, baby? As if I have not seen you sleeping before. Jungkook, she warned, and he raised his hand in mock surrender. She was struggling to sleep, but she don't know when her eyes closed and she finally went to dreamland. Next day, when opened her eyes, only to see Jungkook sleeping in her embrace. As she looks down towards him, his features so soft in early morning. Unknowingly, she trailed her fingers in his soft looks. You still same idiot, Jungkook, she bursts with the pout and top of his head softly. But when she tried to get up, his morning husky voice almost leave her heart out of her soul. On my as well, love, please. His eyes were still closed, one gulps, as she immediately got up and left from there. When he came downstairs, Wen was cooking for herself, as he slightly came behind and hugged her tightly. One yelps in surprise and horror. For God's sake, Jungkook, his arm, but he holds her more tightly, something in her shoulder. It feels like good old times, one bitter lollip worried making. Nothing from an invited guest, especially my ex-fiancé, so you may leave. She muttered sarcastically, but of course he didn't listen. You're leaving after breakfast, he didn't respond. Both had breakfast and then one went to get ready for her office. In home he'll leave, but he didn't, as she let out a loud sigh to see him still in the living room. Why are you still here? Because we need to talk. About what? Our marriage. Let's get married, love. When heart stops. You're kidding me. He shakes his head as no. Went took a deep breath, get her car keys from nightstand, and marched outside. All day in office, one was just thinking about Jungkook and her encounter with him. Even when she was done with work, he was outside to pick. One ignored him, but he was the same stubborn person she knew from a year ago. Just like that, a week passed, and Jungkook was getting impatient now. Every time he tried to get close, he found her beyond his reach. One was walking, and Jungkook was holding her behind, like usual. One stopped, but instead she fastened her pace. Yuri was having a bad day, and when she didn't listen, his eyes darkened. With two long strides, he was in front of her as he pulled her towards him, and the next thing she knows on hers. Her eyes widened in shock as she tried to push him, but instead, when he leave her, both of them was, I'm going to say it last time, like a gentleman. Marry me, please. One blinks, taking a deep breath. I can't, Jungkook. His eyes turned dark, his patience was thinning low. I give it a chance, love, he warns. Jungkook, please stop this, one muttered softly. I'm not ready to marry, not with you, not with anyone. Your mother whined, her eyes widened, when he took out his phone and showed her a live video clip of hospital where her mother was, as she grabbed his collars. Don't you, Jungkook, he smirks with her eyes turned glossy, knowing the complexity of the matter. Just a call and her treatment will stop, and you will automatically lose the only parent that you adored, he retorted, his eyes dark. You won't do anything, Jungkook, or else I'll myself. Tears were dripping from her eyes continuously. I'll, babe. If you didn't marry me, I know. Complexity of your relationship with your father, and now you only have your mother, who's also in hospital bed. But if you didn't listen to me, I'm not responsible for what will happen afterwards. But either ways, you have to marry me at any cost. Why are you doing this? She sobs hard. His eyes softened. Give it time and space, sweetheart. I really love you, one. Please marry me, and everything will be settled. I'll make sure to appoint best doctors for your mom. One fall down on floor. He pulled her as he scooped her in his arms and holds her tightly. Whispered Mary, like for plan, baby. All over her face, she was just numb. Either ways, I don't have any option, she murmured emotionlessly, and he nods, promise you'll not touch her if I marry you. I man of my words when I promise you. She nods without looking towards him, her face numb and motionless. Fine, I'll marry you. Tears stained roll down her eyes, and he smirks in satisfaction to her words. Both were married, and a month passed already. In this month, both of them appeared everywhere like a perfect lovey-dovey couple. One was still hurt and being distant, but Jungkook didn't force her afterwards for anything. Whereas he promised he'd leave her mother's side. In fact, she was getting treated in the most expensive hospital of Seoul now, and her condition was also becoming better. He also apologized to Wine, and even though Wine said she didn't accept his apology, but his constant efforts was warming her heart towards him. For the matter of fact, she knew herself, no matter what, Jungkook won't go this low of hurting her mother just to have her. She had seen him respecting and adoring her mother like his own when they were together. He carried her in bridal style to their room. How's the room? She tilted her head towards him, who was back hugging her. Nice. You still remember my taste. I am impressed. Last month, when Ham wants to spend with her mother and asking he lives in a different city when don't want to leave from this lawn for a while. And he let her and wants to stay in her apartment with her, but today she finally moved with him. But I don't remember your taste. His remarks making her frown. It's been too long to still remember it, and to freshen my memory, I need to again. His smirks and her eyes widened, realizing what he meant. But before she do something, Jungkook, she tapped his shoulder. I'm out of coach, managed to say, and finally he left. You're still the same princess, he murmurs with smirk, making her cheeks turn crimson as he cupped her cheeks and slightly creased her now. Windy knew she was as much as he do, but she won't tell him nor in a billion years. You marry him your own self, and that's because she still loves him. Her inner voice echoes that she shrugged immediately. Then a common thing you have never dated anyone after him, and a part of you still loves him. The same another voice echoes, making her close her eyes. No, it's not true. I didn't date anyone because I scared of someone person like came in my life. Yes, that's the case. But guess he came back, idiot. I snapped out of things from his voice. Are you okay, baby girl? He was still cupping her cheeks. Yeah, let's make few rules to live each other. No France, but she continued. Even better if we made a few rules before starting everything. It would be better for us, and moreover, eventually, you have married me forcefully, but anyways, I want you to follow them, and you're going to follow them, no matter what. She glared him in his eyes. Okay, fine, where are they, and what I have to do? And keep in mind if you put some rules, and I'll do the same. Okay, don't mind. Now coming to the point, so Mr. Jungkook, I don't consider you as my husband, so you're not allowed to touch me until I'll give you permission. Prove yourself first, then I'll allow you. Don't do this, Ryan. You're asking for so much, my red boy says, but I can't step back now, and that's a real game. Meanwhile, he just glared me while gritting his teeth and clenches his but didn't say anything. You're not going to anyone around who talk with me, stare me, or touch me unless it gets over the board. You're not my girlfriend anymore. You're my own wife now, and your protection is my first priority. I'm a selfish person and I can't share what's mine practically when I'm not allowed to. So there's none. Keep in mind and just tell me yourself how could I let anyone around touch what belongs to me? He growled and mistakenly making me flinch on my position. I never saw him raising his voice on me, not even once. I'm just saying to not them, I stutter. Fine, then you also have to follow some of my rules too. Okay, mumbles incoherently. You're not allowed to go out without my permission, and if you want to go, let me know. I'll bring you out or go out with you. You're not going to wear any kind of dresses when you go out. Also, maintain a fair distance between you and any other outsider. Almost scrolled. Oh, damn, he's looking so. With that face and those popping out visible veins. She snapped out of her thoughts, realizing what was she even thinking in such a tense moment, and fake off to focus on whatever he was saying. If you violate even a single rule, then I'll do the same. Keep in mind. I'm fine. I'm okay with this, as long as you follow my rules. Great then, deal. With that saying, he left the room raging in anger. I just sighs. Do I make a mistake? Maybe, maybe not, but I just shrug it off. 3 months passed. Everything went well in these 3 months. Both followed their deal accordingly. Sometimes fine do annoy Jungkook, but doing all the fishy and annual things that he don't like. But literally, don't she do all these because she have another kind of satisfaction to annoy him. I didn't even said anything or not scold her. She knew he swept and she took his privilege. On the other hand, Jungkook, being a man of his words, could know himself even though one teased him, but he never broke his promise. And same with today, they have to go in a party and one intentionally wear his favorite color as the glove, one like a second glove, showing. And to put full fuel on fire, she was chatting with someone while laughing, and Jim could clearly see in his eyes for his wife. He clenched his fist as he is burning in anger. But he didn't react rationally, just because of the rules someone made. But things goes over the board when he touched one and Jiku's eyes darkened, and that was the end of his patience. And he lost his all control and took some long strides towards them. Marilla saw him coming towards her, and she already knew this look, and the next thing she knew is a hard fist landed on the person who one was talking. In a second, she threw multiple on his face everywhere. One tried to pull Jungkook away, but he was on peak of anger. But she somehow managed to pull him away, only to see. And with Harley face, the next thing she knows is he threw her on his shoulder like a rag doll, as he gasped, but didn't protest, knowing very well he's not in his senses anymore. What was that one? So now you want other to touch what's mine? That too right in front of your own husband, he roared, making her close her eyes. She knew things are going over the board, so it's necessary to take first step, and of course, she knows how to control her husband. Baby, calm down, okay? Just relax. His anger flared up. To do what? To see you gossiping around with other guys? I would rather let anyone else touch you, he growled animalistically. So, without thinking anything further, she unseated and instantly said, eyes widened at first as he tried to get up but eventually failed, so he gave up. As she gently greased his cheeks. Mustafa, do you know what you have? She greeted him by placing her finger on his lips to shut him. I know very well, and about prior to do when I practically know my husband is present there, and that too when I even know. Possessive for me, that is, the pleasure does not even have words to describe. What is this, bro? I saw you raging, so it came with the idea, so if I say it won't be wrong. It was a lie, but anyways, one knew him better than anyone. He changed and pulled more towards her as he cleared her. So you do it. Was this a joke for you? She shrugs her shoulder. No, I just want to get erection. He chuckles. Are you? And for what? You wanna tell me? She smirks. You broke your rule. Like seriously? At this time? Still those rules? He huffed in disbelief and annoyance, but she cut it off. Let me complete my sentence, Mr. Mafia. You broke it first and allow you to break the others too. Can you be specific, please? It's already been 3 months ago. So far more than I imagined that you'll. So I'm allowing you to do his smirks. Do you really mean what I'm thinking? She nods her head shyly. I see someone becomes too. Excuse me? Do you think you're the only one who's been? He chuckles. Are you sure, when? He asks, cupping her cheeks. Yes, I am, she replied immediately, but if you just told me directly, it was not better. For a moment, no, many moments, I thought you don't want me anyways. He held you more tightly, and here I was struggling. You have never got over you when you think I was not for me when my wife was roaming around in my own t-shirts and when she wear all those dresses. Are you sure, Ryan? Because if I start now, there's no turning back. He asks. Of course, with second he like no tomorrow. Almost lying beside him, memories in her mind. She remembered him taking her to bed as she blushed just thinking about it. Morning, a restless, sleepy, husky voice echoes, making her feel butterflies in her tummy. Good morning, when mumbles back. Why are you up this early? Probably having a sleep. He smirks. Do you have? She hit on his shoulder, making him chuckle. Was last night not enough? She pouted. and making her blush. Jungkook, he hummed in response, in Crawford now. I've been thinking of something lately. Why you came after? I mean, like, you can approach me earlier if you want. By the time, is there any particular reason? He stiffened on his positions as he tried to change the topic. But no, when being disturbed her, she won't let him escape without her answers. Trust me, don't answer. I wanna know wherever it is, and you have to tell me, he sighs. You know, you was never out of my reach. My man always keep an eye on you from the day you leave. He looks down and one immediately up his cheeks. See, I'm right here, by his side now. He smiles before mumbling, I know. To think that some angel drop you home safe and sound after every party, he huffs and her eyes widen, but relax in extension. Wish she would more expect from him. Of course, he was always protective for her. I've recorded for everything, but I came to know your father is 20-year contract marriage with his business partner whom he was working, and will let that happen when I practically know that he's the real man. Once parents separated a long time ago, and he never acts like her father, nor ever meets her unless he has some mission or meaning behind it. Knowingly, something hurt in her heart. I can show you evidence too if you don't believe me. So eventually, having no other option, I approach you. He shrugs, but one was in daze, gasping, and not believing that she just shared and concoct her mortality, seeing her lost in another trance. I won't let anything happen to you, princess, I promise. On top of her head, daily, and she just stared him blankly. He was the same person she left. Who always protected her, who was always overprotective, possessive, and obsessive for her, like no one else. And he proved it as the warm tears made their way from her eyes, remembering all the spidery moments of them together. Hey, hey, what happened, baby? He immediately cupped her cheeks, wiping her tear stains. Why are you crying, princess? That's why I was not telling you anything. One shakes her head. It's low dusting, Cook. I'll leave you back then. Her voice broke. She was never in good terms with her father, and what she heard was also acceptable. He divorced Son's mother, and her condition started getting worse. And the worse until the day she can breathe without tubes. One hates him, so what was spelling to was something not surprising for her. Shh, he hugged ideally. It was in past, princess. I know the time we were apart from each other, you still didn't forget me, and that's the answer why you didn't date anyone after me. Now I went try once, and that's more than enough for me, princess. But still, one tried to speak, but you cut it off. No, baby. See, we're together now, so our past doesn't matter, and I believe everything happens for our own good, and this time brings us more closer. I love you, she mumbles, staring in his eyes lovingly, and he just got frozen, not believing what he just heard. It took her more than 2 years to say those words again, and he was just stunned and went started crying more when he didn't respond, making him panic. What happened, love? Why are you crying now? You don't love me anymore. Just marry me to save me, she sobs. No, actually, you never want to marry me. In first place, you just want me to. And you got it, she sobs, getting up and turned towards him. I'm leaving from here. And don't worry, I won't go back to my parents. I'll live my own self like before. His jaw be following you behind as he held your arm. You think this thought of me when? Or do you think I always dread you from afar and approach you, knowing very well I can't live without you, just because so you will not feel uncomfortable? You think I stay up at 3 a.m. midnight just to drop you home safely was nothing, and most importantly, you think that marriage was nothing for me, he chuckles, vitally. You don't have any idea how many hurdles I have crossed just to marry you. About the stupid thing, was it easy to get you agree with this marriage thing? No, it was not. only involve your mother because you do all this thing. When that was the least thing I want to do, but just because I have to keep you safe, I did it anyways, and I already apologized to you 1,000 times about it. I know very well you're not going to say yes at first place, so just came up with this stupid idea out of nowhere and just blotted it out and think I don't love you anymore. Yes, my all efforts was nothing, like always. And like always, you believe in whatever story you have made your own self, chuckles, bite away. You know, never deleted your number, but you never called me back. Because I want to give you privacy and your own time to understand where you felt for me, to let you know what is between us, where you felt for us, either you want to come back to me or not. What you see was unexpected when I can understand how you feel at the time, but I don't want to be selfish and keep you to myself just for my own self. That's why I gave you time to decide either you really want me or not. Trust me, I love you more than my life or anything. He opened his arms and she immediately hugged him while sobbing on his shoulder. I'm sorry, she almost whispered. It's okay, baby. Just don't think like that ever again. And if you have any doubt on me, just talk with me directly before assuming things, she nods with sniffs. And calm down after a while as she tried to step back, but the next thing she knows, as she arched her back, I'll listen to you too, she thought it, mischievous, tipping her up, her ears heated up, and her cheeks turned crimson color while she hid her face in his neck. At the end, she knows she still has feelings for him, and he proves his love, care, affection, and most importantly, respect. He proved himself in all this time, therefore, one accepted him again. Thanks for watching. The end.